The disastrous flooding that overwhelmed Maiduguri in northern Nigeria was caused by the state government, even though there was a huge sum of 400 million budgeted for Alau Dam in 2020. Yet, the officials neglected it, allow it to get to this point deteriorated without having to maintain it, even though a huge sum amount of money was allocated for its maintenance. Please, if this is your first time visiting my channel, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification button so that you will always be notified anytime I drop new update. The dam didn't just collapse. There has been a series of warning both from the resident who lives close to the dam, even when it started overflowing gradually. The state government was being warned for something to be done, yet they neglected it. Even the state government even went further to set up what they call a high-powered delegate, which went to the Alau Dam and came back again to tell Maiduguri resident or Borno State resident that there was no cause for alarm. Shortly after that, the disaster happened. Like I said, this is pure negligence on the part of government. From history, that dam was built between 1984 to 1986. Now, between that 1980, that's over 40 years ago. Now, within that period, till 1994, similar thing like this happened in this same dam in 1994. We didn't learn lesson from that incident, yet we allowed it again to escalate and get to this point again. Now, the governor of the state is coming to give reasons that is because of the rainfall.
Earlier reports said that the flood came from a collapsed dam. Later we heard it was from the overflow of Nagada River. While we know you've been busy, of course, trying to ensure that these displaced persons have the adequate help they need, have you been briefed on what really led to this?
Yes, we have some problems in the Alau Dam, but I also want you to believe that this area's rainy season, the rain intensity is so high in such a way that the storm water exceeds the carrying capacity of the dam. And then again, we have problems in the areas of maintenance, amongst others. This year's increasing rainfall is a matter of concern to all of us. So for now, little can be done because the water is still flowing, and I don't think anybody can walk inside the dam right now. But luckily enough, the rainfall has started reducing and the water has started receding also. So we expect that the volume of water, especially the dam, has been overflown, and by now the volume of water has reduced. So what we are trying to do now is to see how we shall, create more waterways, pump some of the waters from the canals and ensure the silting of the waterways. These are some of the temporary measures that we want to take. But I believe we shall work with the Federal Ministry of Water Resources with a view to ensuring that medium-term and longer-term sustainable solutions were established in order to prevent future occurrences.
The current Minister of Water Resources is saying that it's a climate change. When was the last time that dam was rehabilitated? Even though, like I said before, there was a huge amount of money, up to a tune of 400 million, that was allocated for its maintenance. Yet, the officials who are in charge take the money, abandon the project. According to GovSpend, a public portal dedicated to tracking the federal government spending, more than 309 million naira were disbursed for rehabilitating Alau Dam. Between 2018 and 2024, the funds were released in 13 trenches by the Chad Basin River Development Authority to different companies. In 2020, One of the construction companies, Dalori Construction Nigeria Limited, received 51.7 million naira in 3 months, 113.6 million naira in March, 12.3 million naira in April, and 25.8 million naira in June. SM Gudumbali Nigeria Limited, another company, was paid 8 million in 2018 and 7.6 million the following year. Similarly, Bameri Investment Nigeria Limited was paid 14.6 million naira in 2022 and 21.4 million naira a year before. On November 12, 2022, Honor Engineering and Construction Services Limited was paid 17 million for rehabilitation works on the dam. In June 2023, Kukabam General Merchant Nigeria Limited was paid 23.4 million naira for the same purpose. Hama and Partners received the highest amount of money for the same project other companies were paid for, received 122.4 million in 2023 alone. However, on July 29, 2024, the agency also paid 26 million to Bulgari Global Link Nigeria Limited for rehabilitation work on the Alau Dam. Curiously, in the name of rehabilitation, the agency has disbursed funds to different companies in the past 5 years. Home angle satellite investigation, however, shows pattern of abandonment causing a dam decay of Alau Dam infrastructure, which later caused flooding that almost swallowed the entire capital city. From all indication, you will understand that it is actually the negligence of officials who are supposed to be responsible and in charge of that Alau water dam that neglected it and allowed it to get to this point. It is only in Nigeria that you see this kind of situation happen. Yet the Minister of Water Resources is still moving freely, enjoying himself, because life will never be the same again for those areas that flood has ravaged and destroyed lives and properties. We're not even sure the amount of casualties, amount of lives that have been lost. Not even to talk about properties, houses that this flood has destroyed. But before you can even begin to imagine all of this, I think you need to take a look at the entire city of Maiduguri.
East Nigeria, thousands of people have been forced to flee their homes in Borno State after a dam failed, causing major flooding. Bridges, roads and houses were destroyed and several areas cut off. Officials say the collapse of the dam near Maiduguri could lead to an increase in waterborne diseases. Let's speak now to Ahmed Idris, who's live for us in Maiduguri in northeast Borno State. And Ahmed, we can see the flood waters behind you there. How are people coping with this deluge?
Well, Niamh, what we know so far, 500,000 people on record have been displaced by this disaster. And that's those who are able to make it to safer grounds. But what lies behind us here, we actually don't know what's happening there. We saw some people trying to go there to try to see what's going on. About an hour ago, a rickety boat was trying to salvage something from houses over there, and they could only salvage a little bit. So right now, as we were coming from the airport to this location, we saw hundreds on the streets, some walking barefoot, some with the little belongings they escaped with, trying to access internally displaced persons camp. We understand from the National Emergency Management Agency that more than 500,000 have so far been displaced. The officials are not saying anything about casualties because what they're saying is that they don't have the resources at the moment. They don't have engine boats, they don't have choppers, they don't have even professional divers to try to rescue people trapped behind us here. What they did earlier today was to send in a team of local divers. And in the process, 6 of them have been injured and were taken to hospital. And that's how some of them called off the search and rescue operation. That's the situation right now in Maiduguri.
As you can see, guys, this is how bad the situation in Maiduguri is. My appeal to those who want to support the victim of Maiduguri flood should, as a matter of fact, look for another channel to get to the real victim, because I do not have faith in the both state government and even NEMA. The 1 billion naira that has been donated by Dangote through NEMA, I just pray and hope that NEMA will channel that money through the appropriate channel, that they will get to the target audience that really need this help, rather than doing it Nigerian way. As for the state government, which also received 500 million from Dangote, I also do believe that you join force with NEMA to make sure that you get to the real victim that needs this help. If this is your first time here, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel for regular updates.